Hi parents, my name is April Tepe and I am your child's 6th grade music teacher. I'm going to just give you a quick rundown of what our class will look like the next several weeks, hopefully a whole trimester. And if you have any questions, make sure you holler, send me an email, and I can give you any more information that you would like. My kids, 4 of them, came up through Benjamin, Evergreen and Benjamin, so this school is near and dear to my heart in lots of ways, so I feel really blessed to teach here. For the next couple weeks, you can see our supplies for remote learning, pretty similar to if we get back to school. Obviously, they'll need their device and it should be charged, their recorder and their recorder book, which I sent home. So if you didn't get that in their supply bag, make sure you let me know and we can figure it out. Put an open mind on there just because this is all pretty frustrating and strange sometimes, and it doesn't feel like school often, but we do need to just kind of embrace it, and the kids are doing a good job so far, and so just encourage them to just keep sticking to it. And if you have any suggestions for me, by all means, let me know. Something that you feel like will work better for your student, give me a holler via email. When we get back to school, they will need a folder, pencil, things like that. Nothing too crazy. Here's the units that we'll be working on. The ones in blue will be if we get back to school in person. And then we can do our keyboards, guitars, and vocal music. Singing over Zoom is close to impossible. So we will save that. But we will be doing our recorders, so that's a great way for them to apply all the things we learned via music theory, things like that. So they can apply that to playing the recorder. Our classical musical era, so we'll study that time frame. Last year they did Baroque, this year they do classical, and they will actually pick a classical composer and do some research and then do a presentation for the rest of the class via Zoom. We will do music theater. We study music theater, kind of the ins and outs of that, and also we'll watch some music theater productions. Ethnomusicology, which is the study of ethnic music. So we will delve into that a little bit and talk about how culture affects music and music affects culture around the world. And again, they will choose a world instrument, an instrument they're really not familiar with, and do a presentation on that, listen to it, learn a little bit about the culture of the country it comes from, and then share it with the rest of the class. We will have some performances, mostly on recorder via Zoom. And then I mentioned music theory, learning notes, learning all of the notations are on a sheet of music and what they mean. That will be kind of an ongoing thing all trimester. And I'll have a little quiz at the end of the trimester for that. We'll have the opportunity to get into a lot of online resources that sometimes I don't have time for, but there are some really neat opportunities online. One is Chrome Music Lab, and there's each one of these squares is another activity that teaches them a different concept in music, and it is fun. Kids enjoy just getting in here and just clicking around. I mean, an hour can go by in a jiffy. One specific thing that I will encourage them to do, let's see if I can pull it up here, kind of a neat is this Chrome Music Lab. And each box they click is a different note. And so they can click them, and this we can learn about our measures and note values and things. And then they can actually play the song that they composed, and they can switch it up and do whatever. You can change it and play it on a different instrument. So you hear it on a clarinet instead. This is just one of many things. So I might let them just explore a little bit, but also give them some assignments where they need to go into the Songmaker, for example, and write a song that's 10 measures long, and then share it with the class and tell us what their reasoning behind the choices that they made, that kind of a thing. So that will be fun. Let me get back to my PowerPoint. There's a website called TuneLark, which will allow them actually to have a keyboard in front of them on their screen and learn some of the concepts. Not quite as interesting as actually sitting at the piano or a keyboard, but it will be a really neat alternative. We can learn about chords in TuneLark. There's all sorts of opportunities in that website at all. we will go to musictheory.net. We use this actually every trimester, so I might give them an assignment to do in their afternoon asynchronous learning time of just getting 100 correct notes, and I'll show them how to get on and practice that. Maybe they screenshot their final screen so that I know that they've done that. Canvas and Zoom will obviously be their most important online resources. If they're not familiar with Canvas, if you're new to the district, make sure you get some help, holler to their homeroom teacher, somebody, so that they can become very familiar with Canvas, because all of their Zoom links are on Canvas, all of their assignments, everything they submit will be via Canvas. So it's very important. My homepage will look like this when they get into their Canvas. There's some things they can click on, which will give them some interesting things to watch or listen to. The most important link here is the Zoom. So when they click on that, it will bring them to a Google page, which will have all of their Zoom links on them updated for their morning class, also their afternoon check for understanding, if they have a question with something that I've talked about or an assignment that I gave them. Grading, I will try to keep pretty similar to what we've always done, so you can see their participation. Were they on time to our Zoom class? Did they speak up? Did they share when I asked them to? I would strongly encourage them all to have their cameras on. If there is some reason why your child doesn't want to, please let me know. But it will be pretty important that they have their camera on so that we can all get to know each other and I can see what they're doing. And then assignments, they will turn some things in via Zoom. There'll be some quizzes, projects that they will turn in and share, and then just a few performances on the recorder. And performances might be one of those online programs where they compose a song and then share that as well. I have pretty simple rules. Be respectful. Stay on task. So even on Zoom, we all know we get distracted and we might be on our phones or they might be doing something else, but we're really going to require them to stay focused in and focused on what we're doing in class and what I am teaching. And be prepared. Have their computer charged or plugged in and have what they need right there so they're not having to run into the other room to grab it. There will be a measure of grace, that's for sure, for all of us. And I would ask the same, because we are all anticipating some glitches and some issues. And so we will just go with the flow, but the more that we can kind of have our minds and our bodies ready before we even get started, that'll be best. If you need me for any reason, email is probably the best way. So atepi@benjamin25.org. Send me an email and I will try to respond to you as soon as I can. So I hope you have a nice rest of your week. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see how the rest of the trimester goes. Thanks for listening.